What's going on YouTube? It's RPU here, and I'm back with another video. And today we need to talk about this infrastructure bill because the US Congress has quietly sneaked in a crypto bill amendment authorizing central bank digital currency. A lot of us have been really enthusiastic about cryptocurrency, but this infrastructure bill is about to change our lives forever. The Cashless Society is here, and it's all happening so fast. You know, a lot of our I find it funny how these congressmen and congresswomen, politicians, they have these debates on, TV, where they make it seem like they're so ignorant when it comes to cryptocurrency, but they were able to sneak this amendment in with all these different definitions and, things changing the system. And the Federal Reserve is going to be creating a central bank digital currency. And I think everything that's been happening over, the past year, like this new lady, I don't remember her name, the controller of the currency. What's her name? Her name is Saleh Omarova. She is Joe Biden's pick for the controller of the currency, and she wrote a paper where she made like a thesis saying that she wanted the Federal Reserve to be able to like take control over the banking system, and everyone would have an account with the Fed. And I think that all of this is like being done on purpose. I mean, I think that even though people debate over, this woman getting in, I think that this is really going to happen, or it really is happening, because Joe Biden already passed the infrastructure bill. So the central bank can create digital currency. So I really believe that the Fed might actually take over the banking system. I mean, it seems like it's all planned. When you think about it, it's crazy. Like, if you really connect the dots, man, this is really happening. Our lives are forever changed, and the cashless society is here. We've seen examples with China with their digital yuan. Nigeria has the e-Naira, and now the United States has decided to jump on board and get with the program of central bank digital currencies. This is an article from the Zero Hedge. I really like them because they really it's not like mainstream media. They tell everything like it is, like how Matt Drudge, like the Drudge Report used to be before they got bought out. But yeah, man, the future of money is here. Will the Federal Reserve Board be authorized to use distributed ledger technology for the creation, distribution, and recordation of all the transactions of a digital dollar? Wow. So, I mean, we're all going to be tied to our debts digitally, like debt slave. That's what this picture is really portraying right here. A digital debt slave. You can't escape it. Man, the future is really scary. On July 28th, 2021, a new bill was introduced in the House of Representatives. This bill, sponsored by Congressman Don Bayer, aims to regulate cryptocurrencies, but it does more. The bill is called the Digital Asset Market Structure and Investor Protection Act, also known as the Digital Asset Bill. and for the majority, it sets out future rules for crypto. However, hidden in this bill, changes to the foundation of the dollar are proposed. No more paper money, man. That's crazy. Like, people won't be able to hold the money phone to their ears anymore when this gets fully implemented. No more spreading the money out. No more money fans. No more pulling money out of the ATM. And because nobody outside crypto, and frankly few inside crypto, actually read the bill, these amendments have so far largely gone unnoticed. I mean, Nancy Pelosi was the one that snuck this in. Who wrote it? Like, who wrote these laws into the bill? Like, these people didn't even read the bill. Or maybe they did. Changing the nature of money. Cryptocurrencies have been making waves. Fans of crypto think they have a new medium of exchange. However, in the current proposed regulations, Congress clearly takes a strict approach towards crypto and its various use cases. The following article provides an overview of these new U.S. crypto regulations. This is the new crypto regulations that they're planning to propose. It's worse than we thought. The United States is planning to designate Bitcoin, Ether, and their hard forks as commodities and regulate their transactions accordingly. So Bitcoin and Ether are being grandfathered in. Create legal uncertainty for all other crypto projects and ICOs by allowing them to be labeled as securities. That's crazy. Like, you see what's going on with the SEC right now? Ripple, the SEC claiming that Ripple is a security. Hold on. Y'all remember this article back then when Brad Garlinghouse said 99% of cryptocurrencies will probably go to zero? How did he know that? Like, how did he know that 99% of cryptocurrencies are going to go to zero? Because of these new regulations, man. Because the SEC is about to come after basically everybody, labeling every cryptocurrency as a security. But this is where Ripple comes in to play. If Ripple wins this case against the SEC and they're declared not a security or like a commodity like Bitcoin and Ether, they'll be grandfathered in just like Bitcoin and Ether, right? This is why you have people like Forbes talking about a Ripple test, right? This is why we need a Ripple test, because Ripple is the standard. Like, people are, we say that all the time in our videos, but Ripple is actually going to be the golden standard when it comes to the rest of these cryptocurrencies. And any cryptocurrency that does not pass the Ripple test is going to zero. You see what? It just blows my mind. Like, all of these meme tokens that are out of control, you're going to zero. You're going to zero. Like, it's crazy. Like, when these regulations pass, oh man, this is like unbelievable. So I believe that if Ripple doesn't pass this test, then everything besides Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to zero. But there's been so much happening with XRP. XRP has so many connections with the federal government and the IMF. I doubt that XRP is a security. And so it may be Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and these ISO 20022 tokens. but the rest are going to be labeled as securities. So let's keep going. Ban the use of unauthorized stablecoins. Well, what does that mean? I mean, does that mean Tether? Does that mean Tether is going to be banned? I really don't think Tether is going to be banned because I think you can buy it on Coinbase, and they recently had to pay a fine with the CFTC, I believe it was, but they weren't told to shut down their operations. So I really don't think that Tether is going to be banned, but there are a lot of stable coins out there, and these stable coins are a national security threat to the Federal Reserve in the United States, and that's basically why they're banning them. Also, introduce prison sentences for the use of mixers and privacy coins. Monero is about to be banned. Pirate Chain is about to be banned. Like, I don't really think they could stop Monero. The last thing I heard was that Monero had the IRS was trying to get somebody to crack Monero. See, look, IRS will pay up to $625,000 if you can crack Monero. I don't think they've been able to do it so far. So I guess they said if we can't control it, we're going to ban it. You see what I'm saying? And so coins like Monero, Pirate Chain, Loki, all these privacy tokens, they're talking about giving people a prison sentence for using privacy coins. But hey, even if they ban these coins, it's just going to make them even more valuable because, I mean, people don't learn from prohibition, man. You banned alcohol, it just made the alcohol industry thrive. You banned privacy coins, Monero is going to skyrocket because you can only get it by word of mouth. You see what I'm saying? Or a non-regulated KYC exchange. Also, rebrand smart contracts that take longer than 24 hours to deliver as future contracts and regulate them accordingly. So what does that mean? Does that include like if I was to go on Compound and take out a loan, would that be considered a futures contract? I don't know. Redefine legal tender and change the way money is created by the Federal Reserve and authorize the issuing of a digital USD of which all transactions are recorded. This lady must have been like an omen or something because everything that she talked about in her thesis is happening with this infrastructure bill. The Federal Reserve is going to be taking over the banking system, and everyone's going to have an account with the Federal Reserve where all transactions will be digitally recorded on the ledger. That's crazy. That's scary. Force Americans receiving over $10,000 in digital assets to verify the sender's personal information, including social security number, and report to the government within 15 days. So I mean, does this mean that anything under 10,000 does not have to be recorded? Or does this mean like receiving 10,000 within a year? Or, I mean, there's a lot of questions to this. This bill being passed in its current form really just like killed crypto in America. Introduce foreign regulations into U.S. law for all virtual asset service providers in the U.S. and with U.S. clients. Man, it sucks being a U.S. client because it's like you get banned from everything. Like, I really love the Binance. They really treat me really good. But they banned U.S. customers. And we have to use crappy Binance US, which doesn't offer anything. Sucks, man. In short, Congress wants to bring cryptocurrencies under full oversight and control. These new regulations introduce massive regulatory burdens on existing projects, ban and criminalize current normal activities, restrain innovation and free enterprise, and even introduce a transparent central bank digital currency that redefines money as we know it. Everything is just happening so fast. It's it's hard to keep up with this stuff, man. It's like everything is just happening all at once. Everything is changing society, the financial system, you know, how we socialize. I just don't understand how everything is changing all at one time. According to the United States Representative Don Bayer, Congress should incorporate digital assets into existing financial regulatory structures. As you will see, they intend to do just that, and it will change the way things are done for crypto forever. And not in a good way. This bill that was just recently passed is basically destroying crypto in America. But I mean, if you have your passport, you know, all us SYSBN brothers, we was planning on leaving the country anyway. So, you know, I mean, I'm already thinking about, you know, second citizenship and all that. Getting up out of here because the system in America is rigged. It's rigged. It's designed to keep you on a hamster wheel until you die. And I don't want to live like that. And if it comes to that point where the system is so completely rigged, people are just going to drop what they're doing and walk away from this bullshit. I mean, the American dream was already dead, but when people finally realize that, they're just going to say, fuck this shit. Fuck this shit, I'm out. So, our lives are about to change forever. The Cashless Society is here. The Federal Reserve has been activated to create Fedcoins. Included in the digital asset bill. Oh, let me say, you know, this article right here, I printed it out. It's 26 pages. I'm just giving you the short version right now, but I'm going to make another video going over this entire article because people need to know what's happening in this space and what's happening in our country and how our society is about to change forever. But this is just a warm-up, man. I can't believe this. I'm going to leave the link to this in the description. Everybody who's involved in crypto should read this. Even if you're not involved in crypto, you should read this because your money is changing. Your money is changing. Paper currency is about to go out the window. Out the window. Wow. Wow. So let's continue the short version. Included in the Digital Asset Bill, amendments to the Federal Reserve Act and the definition of legal tender are proposed. These amendments drastically expand the powers of the Federal Reserve and change how money is created and distributed in the U.S., the dollar, and the Federal Reserve. Instrumental in the creation of the U.S. dollar is the Federal Reserve. It was set up in 1913 as a reaction to the 1907 financial crisis. During this crisis, financier mogul J.P. Morgan, who had bailed the government out of a financial crisis in 1895, had to organize private sector investments and lines of credit to stabilize the banking system. If you watch the movie Zeitgeist, you will learn that crisis was orchestrated by the banks. They owned all of the newspapers, so basically they controlled all of the media, and they put out fake rumors about a bank run, and people went and in mass to go withdraw their funds, and all of the little banks basically collapsed, and the big banks bought them up pennies on a dollar and absorbed them, giving them even more power. And yeah, I mean, so yeah, the Federal Reserve was set up off of a lie, and it's getting even more power with these abilities to create central bank digital currencies. The original idea behind the Federal Reserve was for private bank deposits to be combined in a reserve. This could provide an emergency line of credit in times of economic stress. Yeah, we saw how that worked out with the repo market skyrocketing. What the Fed does: creation of digital and physical dollars. Contrary to what is widely understood, the Fed does not print money. It can only manage the money supply indirectly. Yeah, with the interest rates. It is the private sector that creates most of what we use as money in the modern banking system. They do this by issuing credit to the market. It is with the supply of credit by private banks that the monetary supply is inflated. Conversely, with the reduced demand for credit, the money supply deflates. The Fed does not have as much direct influence on this process as it wants the market to believe. That's not what this dude in the last video I said. The last video I put called "The Fed is Trapped." There's a billionaire bond investor who says on the global stage that the central banks are running the market. So it's like, what are you talking about? In addition, the Fed is responsible for the distribution of Federal Reserve notes, those little papers we know and use as dollars. Currency departments at each of the 12 Federal Reserve banks make recommendations about future currency needs. The bank then places orders with the comptroller of the currency. That's about to be this lady if it's up to Joe Biden. After reviewing the request, the comptroller forwards them to the Bureau of Engraving and Printing, which then produces the appropriate denominations of currency notes. The Federal Reserve distributes these through its member banks. To summarize, the Federal Reserve does not directly create digital money, and it also doesn't create physical money, notes, and coins. Introducing the central bank digital dollar. Wow. The digital dollar, the Fedcoin. After looking at what the Fed is and isn't allowed to do, we can look at how their authority is to be expanded. According to the Digital Asset Bill, Section 11 of the Federal Reserve Act is to be amended to provide the Federal Reserve Board with new powers. Wow. Give them even more power after they've hyperinflated everything. Section D, to supervise and regulate through the Secretary of the Treasury the issue and retirement of Federal Reserve notes, both physical and digital. So, they may say, when this CBD comes out, they may say you have a certain amount of time to deposit your funds and exchange them for credits of Fedcoin. That's crazy. Except for the cancellation and destruction and accounting with respect to such cancellation and destruction of notes unfit for circulation, and to prescribe rules and regulations, including appropriate technology under which such notes may be delivered by the Secretary of the Treasury to the Federal Reserve agents applying therefore. So far, so good. But the next section contains the real story. According to the Digital Asset Bill, Federal Reserve notes will in the future also be issued digitally. For now, until we go completely digital, Federal Reserve notes to be issued at the discretion of the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System for the purpose of making advances to Federal Reserve banks through the Federal Reserve agents as hereinafter set forth, and for no other purpose are authorized. Notwithstanding any other provision of law, the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System is authorized to issue digital versions of Federal Reserve notes, in addition to current physical Federal Reserve notes. So, they'll be able to print paper and digital dollars, but, how long until we go fully digital? Further, the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System, after consultation with the Secretary of the Treasury, is authorized to use distributed ledger technology for the creation, distribution, and recordization of all transactions involving digital Federal Reserve notes. When I hear what I hear when I hear distributed ledger technology? I hear XRP. I hear XRP. The said notes shall be obligations of the United States and shall be considered legal tender and shall be receivable by all national and member banks and Federal Reserve banks, and for all taxes, customs, and other public dues. Okay, so yeah, I'll be able to pay my taxes in Fedcoin. Great. They shall be redeemed in lawful money on demand at the Treasury Department of the United States in the city of Washington, District of Columbia, or at any Federal Reserve Bank. So yeah, digital dollars are going to be legal tender. I will be able to go in the store and spend them or wherever. The only thing is that nothing's going to be private on that ledger, and they're going to know every purchase that you make. Creation, distribution, and recordation. As we saw, the Federal Reserve does not have the power to create dollars directly. It seems this power is now to be granted to them. Given that these new reserve notes are digital, this strangely merges two distinct forms of money as well. Next, we saw that the distribution of dollars was done through member banks. It isn't clear if this remains the case. It clearly says that these digital dollars can be issued, quote unquote, in addition to the Federal Reserve notes. There is nothing, at least not in this law, preventing the Federal Reserve from taking a more centralized and direct role in distributing the digital dollar, perhaps during the next quote unquote emergency. So, did you just hear they just alluded to the idea that the Fed is really going to do what this lady sought out to do in her thesis, which was to get the Fed to take over the banking system. It's really happening. Whether she gets nominated or not, it's happening. It's already passed. It's in the infrastructure bill. And finally, the Federal Reserve Board is to be authorized to create and distribute a ledger-based digital dollar. Could this be XRP? If it is, XRP is going to the moon. Digital dollar that could be used for everyday transactions. There are few technologies one could imagine, but let us now assume this will be a blockchain. Blockchains are great for recording transactions. It is what they do. Perhaps that is why the Federal Reserve will be authorized to do so. However, it is a bit hard to imagine that such a centralized structure would not lead to monitoring of all transactions. And what about privacy? What about security? I don't know. Let's ask the World Economic Forum. What did they say? Didn't they say that you will have no privacy? Didn't they say that you will own nothing and you will be happy? How did they know if it wasn't a part of the plan? Welcome to 2030. I have nothing, have no privacy, and life has never been even better. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Possible outcome. The Fed is currently not as powerful as it wants the market to believe. The Federal Reserve Act restricts a lot of its actions, as it should. This amendment, however, could drastically expand the powers of the Fed by allowing them to create and distribute a digital USD directly. It could change the entire structure of the financial system with far-reaching consequences. It's going to change our lives forever. And how are digital Federal Reserve notes to be justified in terms of the origin and authority of the Federal Reserve? If the digital dollar is based on a blockchain, how can they also be based on reserves? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know right now. And what mechanism will determine how funds and how much are added to the economy? Basically, the Fed. The Fed's going to have full control to print as many dollars as they want, which is what they want. They want to be able to print as many dollars as they want, and then they're going to turn interest rates negative. And if you hold your value in digital dollars, you're not going to be gaining interest. You're going to be losing interest, which means the balance in your bank account is going to be depleting on a monthly, daily, yearly basis. Who knows? And where and how will they be distributed? Will this all be under the control of a board of 7 unelected bureaucrats? It should be unconstitutional. And how will they control a distributed ledger of such magnitude? Would Ripple. This amendment has the potential to change the way the Federal Reserve operates. It is not law yet and still can be changed. This deserves a wider discussion by economists and financial experts outside the crypto space as well. Well, I think that, yeah, it has the potential to change, but Joe Biden just passed the infrastructure bill, so this is how it is as of right now. Yeah, he just signed the bill 2 days ago. He basically killed crypto. If it doesn't change, that's crazy. But we got some people fighting back, which is good, you know, because people know that this is going to kill crypto in America. Look, breaking news: Ted Cruz introduces legislation to repeal infrastructure bills. Devastating attack on emergency cryptocurrency industry. Man, it seems like the people on the right are trying to save the economy. The people on the left are trying to destroy the economy. I'm so glad that there are some people who are actually reading the bill and paying attention to it, because it seems like we just have a bunch of ignorant politicians in office, man. They get paid all this money and they don't even read the bills, like. But yeah, this is just a warm-up video. I'm probably going to make another video going through this entire bill, you know, all the regulations that are passed in this bill. But if you want to read it for yourself, I'll leave it in the description, because these regulations are 26 pages long, and it's probably going to take me some time to read it. And I suggest that you read it too, because it's changing the laws on everything. Privacy coins are going to be banned. Stable coins are going to be banned. And if Ripple doesn't win this case, they're going to be considered a security. But I really don't think that they're going to be considered a security. I really believe that they're going to be considered a commodity, just like Bitcoin and Ether. They're going to be grandfathered in. And like Brad Garlinghouse said, everybody else is going to zero. It's crazy. I really believe, I'm speculating here, but I really believe that the US digital dollar may run on the XRP ledger. And I really believe that XRP is not a security. I made a video where I did some research on why I believe XRP is not a security. I'll also leave that in the description. But yeah, our entire world is about to change. We are really about to experience a cashless society. And it's coming fast and hard, and most people won't even see it coming. I believe it may even happen next year, because I remember an article. No, not an article. I remember a video where Brad Garlinghouse said that he was looking forward to 2022, and the discovery phase of the SEC case ends around January, February 2022. It seems like everything is lining up, and it seems like everything is not a coincidence, and nothing is what it seems. But yeah, these are my thoughts, man. The Fedcoin has been activated. The Cashless Society is here. If you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate it if you hit a like and subscribe to the channel. This is RPU, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.